Welcome all back to the Dr. Jim Dragon Ball Retrospective, Episode 2, Part 2, whatever you want to call it. But today, we're tackling the original Dragon Ball. Let's begin with my personal thoughts on this incarnation of Dragon Ball, which, let's just get this over with. I personally really like the original Dragon Ball. I like how it's more comedic based than fighting, which the fighting does slowly take over towards middle end of the series, and you can just slowly see the transition from the style of the original Dragon Ball to the style of Z, which I'll save all of this for the next video covering, well, Dragon Ball Z if you didn't know. Also, on a side note, I didn't watch this series until after I finished Z, so it's really nice to see, for me at least, it's nice to see how Goku became, well, Goku, like how he became who he is today, and why. And it does make sense, make some of the stuff from the Saiyan Saga of Z make a bit more sense, in a way. But let's just begin with the story arcs. The first story arc of the entire franchise is, not surprised at all, the hunt for the Dragon Balls. Which, personally, it's very impactful of an arc. It's so impactful that JT tried to copy it. The arc begins with the first meeting of Goku and Bulma. Goku just walking in the street with the fish that he just caught, and Bulma hits him with the cup, and then proceeds to shoot him. And then, also, another funny part about that scene, Bulma was the first girl Goku ever saw. So, there's that extremely awkward bit of comedy, which is really funny to me for so many different reasons, but I'm not really gonna get into them currently. But after that, Goku takes Bulma to Goku's house, and Bulma sees the first star Dragon Ball, like, hey kid, you wanna come and find the rest of the Dragon Balls with me? So, you can get a wish from the dragon, which Bulma completely intends to use the wish for herself. She just wants company in Goku, which, I mean, After the two head out, they run into a giant robot, and that happens to be a good old pal Oolong using his shape-shifting powers. But yeah, so they're just exploring, then they come to the desert, and that's when they meet Yamcha and Pla, which I will give the original Dragon Ball credit. It made Yamcha look cool for like an episode, maybe. They made Yamcha look cool for a little bit, so I have to give it credit for that. But after they collect the 7 Dragon Balls, they are captured by a good old pal, Emperor Pilaf, who will come back in the Dragon Ball Super for some great comic relief. But we'll save that for a future video. But yeah, so then Goku stares at the moon, right? He goes great ape, then he just destroys Pilaf's castle. And during that, Oolong gets the Dragon Balls, and he wishes for a pair of Bulma's panties.
You what? FBI, open up!
It's not a joke either, that's actually what he wished for, and it's funny as fuck, honestly. Also, forgot about one thing. It's kind of important. They find Master Roshi's turtle, like, on the street. Like, on the road, where they're off somewhere. So then they bring the turtle back to Master Roshi. Master Roshi gives Goku the Flying Nimbus, and Bulma one of the Dragon Balls. So, that's kind of important. I just completely forgot about it. My bad. The whole Dragon Ball thing. Goku goes back to Master Roshi's place and trains for the 21st. No. It's like the 20th or the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. I think, I'm not entirely sure. But then a little kid named Krillin shows up. You might know him, he's kind of an important character. But yes, Krillin is there, and then Goku and Krillin train together for the martial arts tournament, and then they fight in the tournament. Surprise, surprise there. But tournament, there's this really cool fight with Goku and Krillin. It's actually one of the better fights from the original Dragon Ball, in my opinion. But after that, Goku reaches to the finals, and he's fighting somebody named Jackie Chun, which is just Master Roshi under an alter ego, to make sure Goku doesn't get cocky if he wins and stops his training. Which, that leads us into the Red Ribbon Army arc, which is probably one of the weaker story arcs from the original Dragon Ball, but that's just, my opinion there. It's fun, but ultimately kind of boring at the same time, which is basically used just to serve as some filler for the next tournament. Well, it introduced Tien and Chaozu, I believe. But then let's go to the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, which, wow, it is a pretty big improvement. I gotta say it is. But yes. There is a really cool moment in this tournament where, it's kind of iconic, where Tien breaks Yamcha's leg, which, then that's really one of the standout moments from that tournament, pretty much. You know what, though? It's time for the big one, the King Piccolo arc, which, Jesus Christ, that is one way to end out the Kid Goku portion of the story. Yes, if you don't know, after the tournament, Goku is just kind of there, but he's there, he's eating with all of his friends, but Krillin isn't there. So Goku just wanders off and finds Krillin in the tournament announcer. Krillin's dead. Krillin got his neck snapped by, I believe, Tambourine, one of King Piccolo's children. I believe it was Tambourine. Not entirely sure. But then after that, Goku gets really mad, he hops on Nimbus and tries to find Tambourine to kill him for what he did to Krillin. Which, he does eventually kill Tambourine, but he finds something worse. King Piccolo himself. Which, keep in mind, King Piccolo kills two huge characters in the series. He kills Master Roshi, but Shenron. He kills Shenron the Dragon himself, which is weird. Well, not weird. Well, kinda, but yeah, it's a bit complicated. Then there's the final fight between the two. Goku does something legitimately cool. He punches straight through King Piccolo, which I guess you can say it's kind of like a prototype Dragon Fist if you've ever seen the movie, I believe it was Wrath of the Dragon. But yes, after Goku pretty much Wrath of the Dragon's King Piccolo, nothing real. There's a 3-year time skip where Goku goes up onto the lookout and trains with Kami and Mr. Popo. Yeah! Then 3 years later, they come back for another World Martial Arts Tournament. Everybody's grown up, and fun fact, this is also the first time we hear Sean Schimmel's Goku chronologically in the series. But the tournament is another tournament arc, except the egg that King Piccolo spit out is now fully grown into a character known as Piccolo Jr., aka the Piccolo we have for Z, Super, and GT. Which, I mean, yeah, it's cool to see how all the characters are grown up now, or somewhat grown up. This is also where you can start to see the Dragon Ball Z slowly come out. Like, that arc is more tournament-based, fighting-based, whatever, than the first and the last couple of arcs, like the King Piccolo in the Piccolo Jr. saga, is where you can really notice and see the Dragon Ball Z slowly come in. But let's just talk about how the series ends. So Goku beats Piccolo Jr. by, I believe, doing a Kamehameha with his feet, and basically pulling the same thing he did with King Piccolo, except that didn't kill Piccolo Jr., it just knocked him out. For obvious reasons, if you've watched Z, you might know why King Piccolo Jr. not dying is a huge event in the series. But after that, they basically all just live happily ever after. In a nutshell, that's the original Dragon Ball. But first, let's talk about things that I didn't like. 1. This is a little gripe, but it can be a little slow at times. Not like GT Black Star Dragon Ball saga slow, but it drags on for a little bit. Like, I believe there's this part with Tien in a village where he's like a wanted criminal. Nothing, it just happens kind of in the middle of the King Piccolo saga, and it just doesn't make any sense, but at the same time it's still somewhat cool. But other than that, that's really my only complaint with the series, because there's not a lot of filler or anything. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for, condensed. For, I believe, 150 episode run, it's good. It does the manga justice, like, really well, actually. Better than a certain show we might be getting into in a few videos. But overall, the original Dragon Ball is great. I give it, well, before I give it a ranking, I might as well give GT one. I give Dragon Ball GT a 5 out of 10. Yeah, 5 out of 10. But I give Dragon Ball a... drumroll, please. Okay. I give the original Dragon Ball a 7 out of 10. This was the Dr. Jim Dragon Ball Retrospective Episode 2 on the original Dragon Ball. I'll see you in the next one for the fucking huge one, the Dragon Ball Z video. Oh, and a side note for the Dragon Ball Z video. There's gonna be a section of where it's about Dragon Ball Z Kai instead of making that its own.